because we've done some cold soups before, and I think this can be either for dessert or for like an appetizer starter type thing. As you heard me, some of you heard me say, we were on a cruise last week with my family. It was very nice. But at every meal or every dinner, that's not a good one, they served a cold soup, and it was usually a fruit soup. And they had a mango, they had, I don't know if they had a blueberry, and I didn't realize it till like the third day, and it was like, wait a minute, they've had a cold soup every night. And I did taste the mango, which I loved, but I thought how interesting that was to do that and not make it, I think one night it was an asparagus, but, pardon me. But for the most part it was a soup, and they considered that as part of either your salad or your appetizer or whatever. So I think with this you can do, maybe if you wanted to make it a little sweeter and serve it as a dessert, or just keep it kind of the way it is. It is a little bit on the sweet side, and use it as just a starter for your meal. Well, we're going to get started here with 2 pints of blueberries in a pot with some orange juice. I'm going to put a little bit of salt and the cinnamon in here, and we're just going to let that boil, and the sugar. We're just going to let that boil and soften up the skins a little bit, and then we're going to put it in our food processor and kind of grind it down to soup consistency, and then we're going to put a little half and half in it. So it's, oops, I missed some of the little stems here. Although when you grind it all up, you're not going to know you're eating stems. Yes, I put the orange juice in because that's what's going to keep it from sticking to the bottom of the pot. And so we're going to let that come to a boil. And like I said, it'll soften up the skins and break them apart. You don't need to have all, like cranberries. When you heat up cranberries, to kind of soften them a little bit, you want them to pop to get that skin popped. You don't quite have to do that with the blueberries. They're a little bit soft. And what I did, if you have an electric stove, because you want it to sort of cool down before you put it in the food processor, was I let it kind of come to a boil, and then I turned it off until I was ready for it. And by the time I was ready for it, it was room temperature. Actually, I think I'm just going to leave it. I turned off the heat. We'll just leave it here. It's still going to cook a little bit. And as you can see, some of the skins on the blueberries are starting to sort of break open, which is what we want to see. All right, we're going to pour about half of this in here. You don't want it flying all over. And we're going to put a little bit of lemon juice in here, which I have right there. Going to process it down. I think I'm going to pour this in. This is I've made earlier. Let's pour that in there. There we go. And this is one. Yes, you could use a blender if you're so inclined, but make sure you have the lid on, because I think this could be deadly. We're going to add some, you would cool this down, and it is some, I added the 2 together, one I had made earlier, because I'm going to add the half and half. So you're just going to cool it down, add the half and half to it. I'll whisk it in. And I think you're going to enjoy this. Now I am adding 2 pints of half and half because to this I do have a double recipe. So like I said, you can use this as a soup if you're having a kind of a fun dinner with a formal course where you need a soup. Or for dessert, I think if you serve this with some other fresh fruit or some little cookies or something, it makes it really good. And I think you should serve it in a glass. Ooh, I forgot to get a glass. Wait a minute. In a nice stemmed glass. It's a pretty color. It would. I'm making a mess on the glass. Like I said, it's not overly sweet. Okay, we can't let that go. And you might want to put a little dollop of maybe sour cream or whipped cream if you were doing it for dessert. Yeah, or maybe a little bit of ice cream if you were serving it for dessert, and a little bit of, ew, that's terrible. Let's turn it over there. A little bit of mint leaf in it would be very, very pretty.